Welcome to the first
Craft Collective
all ages
Monster Make! Hi, I'm Annie from the Craft Collective, and we're going to be making a few of these videos to keep you crafting.
We'll show you how to make
Your own little paper village.
these makes. Should be great for kids and grown-ups too. There's no age limit, so you know, mums, dads, grandpa, gran, if you want to get involved, you can do.
Yeah. So this is the start of a little paper village, and we're going to show you how you can make your own from just a sheet of A4 paper. So these are some of the materials that you're going to need to make your houses. We've got some scrap bits of paper from some letters that came in the post, some sellotape, pencil, might need a rubber, definitely some scissors, and then lots of different types of crayons. We've got wax ones, pencils, and Sharpies and felt tip pens, but anything you've got will be great. So obviously we don't want to waste paper, so we're using lots of different types of scrap paper that we found lying around the house. Some of it are letters that came in the mail, but anything that's got a white blank sheet on one side is going to be perfectly fine. The size of paper you actually need to make the houses is square, but I'm going to show you a really clever trick on how to turn a piece of A4 paper into a piece of square. First thing we want to do is we're going to take this bottom left hand corner and you're going to fold it over so that the edges meet, and you want a nice crisp line. And once you've got that crisp line, you're going to take your scissors, ready for you to start making your houses. And now we're going to start folding our paper. So we're going to take our square of paper and we're going to do some folds. And the first fold you want to do is we want to fold this edge so it meets that edge. So we're going to fold it completely in half and make a nice crisp line. You can use your nails or you can use a ruler. And then we open that up and we're going to fold it again the opposite way. And then we're going to fold the edge into the middle one way. And then we're going to fold the edge into the middle the other way. I'm going to open that out again and return it, and we're going to fold the edges into the middle the other way. So what we end up with is a sheet with lots of little squares on it. We're going to go through all of this again in a few minutes. We just want to show you the basics right now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some lines on the paper, because these are the lines where we're going to use our scissors to cut, and that's what will make the folds to make the house. So we're going to cut down this line, and this line, but only up to the first of the quarter folds, and then exactly the same on the opposite side. So we're going to cut up these three centre lines to the first part of the quarter, and we're going to turn our paper over and cut up the opposite three centre lines to the first part of the quarter on that side. So ideally you'd want to use glue to put your house together, but we're using sellotape today because that's what we've got lying around at home. So you can use glue, sellotape, or even a stapler if you want to. But I'm going to show you how to turn this little bit of paper into a folded house. Okay, so we're going to take these two centre flaps on one side and we're going to fold them diagonally so they meet nicely. Then you're going to take your outer sides and fold them in so they meet nicely at the bottom. I'm just going to take a piece of sticky tape and stick it down there, and we'll do exactly the same on the opposite side. Our two end pieces so they nicely match, and then our final two flaps so they match. And get my bit of sticky tape and stick them down. So some of these folds aren't as nice and sharp as we'd like them, so I'm just going to gently give them a little pinch along the edges just to neaten up those folds and make the house stand up a little bit easier. So ideally you'd want to draw some features on your house, maybe a little door and some windows. So I'm going to grab Rob and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that.
So I'm not going to fold it up and stick it together right now. I'm going to draw on top first so it looks really nice when I've folded it all together.
So I'm just adding some tiles for the roof on my house in pencil, and then we can colour them in using our fancy crayons.
So that centre line down the middle is the very top of the roof?
It is. So this centre line is going to be the top of the roof.
Okay.
So on this side we've got one half of the roof and then a bit of the building, and on the other side the other half of the roof and the back of the building. So on our front I've got a front door and some windows, but you could even draw plant pots and have some plants and flowers growing around your house. You could have some little bushes if you wanted to. If you really wanted to, you could draw in the bricks and colour it all in.
Why don't you have a look out of your window and see what kind of houses you can see?
There'll be lots of different types of houses depending on where you live. So you could try and draw all the different types. So they don't have to just be houses. You could make
Shops?
you could make shops, post offices,
Church?
the church, the school.
So you could use crayons to colour in your house and make it look a bit more realistic and a bit more colourful.
You can even use the bit of cut off paper to make a garden to sit your house on when it's finished.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you could make just one house, but you could also make, it's probably more fun to make lots and lots of different paper houses, right?
You could make an entire village of paper houses.
And then you could do all the buildings in the village.
You do every building, like the bread shop and the butchers and the greengrocers.
And you could do different types of village depending on where you live, right?
Completely. This is something I always like to really do in my houses. And I draw tiny, tiny little details of things you can see through the windows. So we've got a tiny, tiny plant on the windowsill. And there I'm going to hang a picture. And you can draw something inside it. You can even do the back of a chair, because I think putting all those little extra details in makes it look really realistic.
So if you're using sellotape like us, it may be easier to cut off a few pieces in advance to make sure that it's easier to put your house together. But please ask an adult about where you can stick your sellotape. Don't just stick it onto any old table. I'm folding in my sides, and you can see how I'm making this line across my little house here. A bit of sticky tape, and stick that across that line there to hold it all together. So I'll make a square for my roof again, and then I'll fold in the side that I want to be on the bottom to make a virtual line just like that across there, and then fold in the other side so that it makes the line nice and neat. Get a bit of sticky tape here. Put the sticky tape along there, and I'm sure you'll do a much neater job than me at home. Okay, so here we have our little paper village, and I'm sure we're going to be making some more houses over the next week or so, but we've got a competition for you.
We have indeed. So we would like you to send us pictures of your paper houses or your paper village. And you can send them to the Craft Collective on Facebook, or you can email them to annie@craftcollective.org.uk.
And you can Google for the Craft Collective website if you want to see that address again, or for any other details. Okay.
Paper and pencils and paints, oh my!
So we want you all to send us your little paper village, and we'll pick our favourite. If we pick yours, you'll win
some paper, some pencils, some paints.
some craft supplies.
That's better.